Okay, so the next method is using substitution method. An example of that would be if you are doing two equations. If your first equation is 2x plus 2y is equal to 38, and your second one is y is equal to x plus 3. Remember that two sides of an equation are exactly the same thing. So if this is telling you that these two things are the same, this is exactly the same thing as y. So I'm going to take that and plug that into y on my first equation. So I'm going to take 2x plus 2 times what I know is the same thing for y, which is x plus 3, is equal to 38. Now I only have one variable and I can solve for that one. So what I have is 2x plus, I'm going to distribute 2 times x and 2 times 3, so that's 2x plus 6 is equal to 38. Combine like terms, that's 4x plus 6 is equal to 38. Sorry, I'm running out of room. I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. I'm going to jump up here. I'm subtracting 6 on both sides, so that's 4x is equal to 32. So I divide both sides by 4, and so I get x is equal to 8. Once you get x is equal to 8, I'm going to plug that in right here, and my y should be 11. So my x is equal to 8 and my y is 11. Again, you can plug those both in and make sure that they work on both of them. So if x is 8 here and y is 11, 2 times 8 is 16. I'm going to write this really small, sorry. So I have 16 right there, and then I have 2 times 11, which is 22, and when I add those up, I get 38. So this solution, which is as an ordered pair, 8, 11, checks out on both of them. Okay, gonna do one more example of this. Noah's getting a little bit cranky, so I'm gonna try to go fast. One more example. We have 4y minus x is equal to 5 plus 2y, and then we also have 3x plus 7y is equal to 24. I am going to try to set this up as simply as possible. So on this one, I'm going to subtract 4y on both sides. So I get negative x is equal to 5 minus 2y. I don't like this negative sign, so I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 1. So I get positive x is equal to negative 5 plus 2y. So then I'm going to plug that in on my second equation down below. So I'm going to take 3 times my x. I'm going to flip the order here. So I'm going to do 2y minus 5 plus 7y is equal to 24. Then I need to distribute. That would be 6y minus 15 plus 7y is equal to 24. Combine your like terms, so you get, I'm going to grab a different color so you can see, so you get 13y minus 15 is equal to 24. Add 15 to both sides, so you get 13y is equal to 39. Divide by 13, and you get y is equal to 3. Once you figure out y is equal to 3, all you need to do is plug that back into your other equation to solve for x. So I would plug in 3. I would do it right here. So that would be a negative 5 plus 2 times 3, which is 6. So that is 1. So we're saying that x is 1. And I'm going to save some time, but you can plug in both of those to check. I'm going to plug both of those into this one just to show you this one. So we're saying that x is 1. So that would mean that 3 times 1 plus 7 times y. So that's 7 times 3. And as you can see, 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 7 times 3 is 21. That does equal 24. But remember, you should check both to make sure. All right. And remember, write your solutions as ordered pairs. So that would be 1, 3. Okay, next up. Okay, couple of things. Remember infinite solutions. If you work through a problem on this, and if you ever end up with a solution that equals the exact same thing, let's say that you work through and you end up with 5 equals 5, it means that it doesn't matter what you put in for your variable, it's always going to be true, and so therefore it has an infinite number of solutions. Or on the flip side, if you work through a problem and you get something that looks like -12 is equal to, I don't know, 20, it means that they will never be the same, and so therefore they have no solution. And the last one is the elimination method. And this one is, you're probably going to feel about this one the way that you felt about standard form or point slope form. You're going to feel like you can do it better without it, but this is or can be very, very helpful. For example, if you look at two equations and you see something like this, if you have 5x minus 6y is equal to -32, and 3x plus 6y is equal to 48, if you look here, you've got two numbers that equal 0 very easily. So if you add both of these two equations together, so you're going to just add them all. So 5x plus 3x is 8x. A -6 plus a +6 is 0, so that cancels. It eliminates. So then on the other side, you have -32 plus 48, which is 16. You simply divide both sides by 8. X is equal to 2. That was simple. From here, plug in your x to figure out what your y is. Trying to take care of my baby. Hang on a second. There you go, bud. Okay, so plug in your 2 for x, and you can pick either equation. It doesn't matter. I am going to pick the first one. So if you plug in 2 right here, okay, so you would get 5 times 2 minus 6y. I need to take a little break. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, if you plug 2 in, you would get 10 is equal. Okay, let's try this for like a third time. If I plug in 2, I get 10 minus 6y is equal to -32. So if I subtract 10 on both sides, I get -6y is equal to -42. Divide by -6. So y is equal to +7. Again, you can go back and check this on both for the sake of time. Remember that our x was 2, our y was 7. Therefore, that's our solution to our system of equations using the elimination method. All right, sometimes you have to get a little bit creative in how you eliminate. So for example, I'm looking at number 16. So we have two equations. We have 3x plus y is equal to 5. And the other one we have is 2x minus 2y is equal to -2. You don't have two that simply cross each other out. So you can just multiply one of these. If you wanted to multiply this top one by 2, as long as you multiply everything by 2, this is what you would end up with. You would end up with, I'm going to write it down here, you would end up with 6x plus 2y is equal to 10. And that's fine to do because you multiplied both sides by 2, which is fine. You guys already know that. So now you can eliminate your y's. And so if you add these together, because adding a negative and a positive will cancel. So if you add 2x plus 6x is 8x. These are going to cancel each other out. And -2 plus 10 is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 8, so you get x is equal to 1. And then take your x as 1 and plug it into your equations and see what you get. If you plug in 1 right here, so that's 3 times 1 is 3, plus what is equal to 5 is 2. I cheated on that one a little bit because you can do that one in your head. Remember, you could just solve it like a two-step equation if you're working with numbers that you don't know. So our ordered pair is 1, 2, and since this is an easy enough one, let's go ahead and plug that into the second one and make sure that it works there as well. So you would get 2 times 1 minus 2 times 2. So 2 times 1 is 2 minus 4 is equal to negative 2. So it worked on both of them, so you know that this is your solution to both. Alright, so just a couple of things to remember. These three are just different methods to do the same thing. It's to find an ordered pair that is a solution to two different equations. Depending on the problem, choose which method you want to use. And again, as I've told you earlier this year, it takes practice to know which method to use in which situation. You may not always pick the best or the fastest, but they should all work. And finally, make sure that you pay attention to those special situations when there is no solution or when there's an infinite number of solutions. All right, I think this is the longest video I've made, so with that, this was supposed to have a picture of Noah on it. And there it is. So it is time for me to say good night and to go put this baby to bed. So good luck. I hope that this helped you guys understand a little bit more about solving systems of equations. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.